This is how easy it is to make improvements in strength and endurance every day using dense strength. Got a timer for 10 minutes. Every minute we start a new set, and the amount of reps you do is completely up to your strength and fitness level, and that should go up almost every session. The first 2 sets I'm aiming for 5 reps and the rest will be 4, and I'm doing a wide chin up. Usually do 4 different variations. So obviously, if you're going to hit a certain amount of reps every minute for 10 minutes, you're not going to go all out at the start. You don't want to go all out every session. You want to leave a bit in the tank, especially if you're new to this. It's better to go on the lower side than go too hard out of the gate and not being able to finish the block. A big component of this is the dopamine hit you get from completing a block and doing better every time. So if your first session is a failure, that doesn't set you up for success. So if I can keep the rest of these sets at 4 reps, that'll be a new personal best for this variation. I like to mix it up every time that I do a pull up. Today I'm doing a wide chin up, so that's more lat focus, more bicep focus, contrasted with a close pull up, so palms away. It really works the forearm, but it can be quite hard on the elbows, so that's why I play around with it. I just work with whatever tweaks I feel, and also to hit all those muscles over the course of a week. These metal bars can be quite abrasive on the hands, especially if you're doing something like this every day, which most days I am, so it can help to have some chalk handy. My pull-up bar at home just hangs up on the doorway, as you'll see at some point. It's got the foam grips. That's a little easier on the hands. You could go the glove route as well. Just play around with it. But at the end of the day, I don't think it's really avoidable. It's more of a battle scar, which isn't a bad thing if you ask me. Quite a few mozzies around. That's right, keep moving. So as I'm talking to you guys, I'm only doing pull-ups, most exercises, or most dense blocks I should say. You'd only do 1 exercise, especially if you're first starting. Some days I do a superset if I'm really short on time. So within the same minute I'll do two exercises. You could even fit in 3 if you're really pushing. But again, that only really works if you're working at a sub-maximal level. And then if you really want to get more reps in on the last set, you can pump out as many as you can. But generally try and keep it sub-maximal. So that's halfway. If you're wondering if there's a right way or a wrong way to position your legs, depends who you ask. Sometimes I do them with legs straight out in front of my abs to kind of engage the core. Really depends on the height of your bar as well. Sometimes that doesn't allow for that. You see people tuck the legs up behind, as I'll show for this next set. You get more of a pelvic tilt doing that, so you don't get as much core engagement. But for some people, that allows them to turn on the upper arms more. Just play around with it. Movement is for the long term. It's more just about accruing reps over the course of your life, refining the basics, not getting too bogged down in the minutiae of it all. The more I learn about movement, the more I realize it's not dogmatic, these movements. I think the dogma is what gets people injured, including myself back in the day when I was working strict straight back movements. I ended up hurting myself, so it's all about balance, training everything equally. So this block's feeling pretty good today. Some days I struggle getting the chin up over the bar, but had a fair amount of food. Already had my dinner for the day, so that's digesting nicely and giving me the energy I need. I'll also need to do a dense block of something lower body today. Already done. I did dense bench press, 3 reps per set earlier in the day. First time I'd tried that. That was a good reminder actually of not going too hard on the weight. The previous block I'd done bench press was a 10D1. That was with 70 kilos. First time I'd bench pressed in well over a year. So my strength gains were definitely obvious. They'd waned quite a bit. So just incorporating that back into the routine as and when it's available to me. But yeah, went a bit hard out on the 10D3, so I had to drop the weight. Didn't make the 3 for the full 10 sets, so that was disappointing. Potentially a flash of lightning in the distance. Had a pretty cool storm last night. Could be in for another big one tonight, we'll see. Hasn't rained in a long while this side of the country. One more set to go. This has been pretty cruisy, if I'm honest, which again, I'll reiterate it, is how dense is supposed to feel. If you're out of breath every time you do a block, then you're probably going too hard. In saying that, cardio is one of the benefits of dense. And that's it. I'm gonna get out of here before I get eaten alive.